Welcome back to the Mountain Witch Tarot channel. I am your host, Sarah, and it is Monday, and I hope you all had a great weekend. Today we're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, everybody has been noticing this big shift in Marjorie Taylor Greene, and some people are suspicious. Some people say, oh, well, she's up for re-election. Some people are saying that she could possibly be deconstructing from the MAGA ideology. She's even come out and talked about, she's receiving pushback from the Trump White House. So it just kind of seems like this big fracture that's happening right now. And I think it's happening so much within MAGA that it's kind of not at all surprising, I think. But we want to get to the bottom of what is really truly going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Simply put, is she woke? Has Marjorie Taylor Greene gone woke? I hope so. That would be fantastic. Imagine if she came over to the light side from the dark side. As much of a big mouth as she is, she would just tell us all the tea all the time. That would be amazing. But it is always good, of course, to see people breaking away from the MAGA cult and coming into reality to join the rest of us. Now, before we get started, a couple of things. Number one, if you click the like button on this video, I would really appreciate it, especially if you like this video. If you don't like it, you can click dislike. That's okay, too. And if you are new here and you like political divination, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and stick around and become part of the community. We would love to have you. Now, the other thing is, you'll notice that there are a few cards down on the table. So this is actually from my morning meditation readings, we'll say. I like to do a little check-in in the mornings on myself and on the country and on Donald Trump and on anything interesting going on in the world. I like to just do a little energy read first thing in the morning. And so I wanted to share this one with you guys because I felt like there's such an important message here. First of all, big energy of feminine power and how that is manifesting in society right now, and how I think we're going to see a feminine energy shift that carries us forward through these horrible times. Now, let me just say this spread is in response to the question, what is the big energy this week in Donald Trump's America? And we started off here with the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune likes to come out at times when we all need to be reminded that the wheel is always spinning. Sometimes it spins in your favor, sometimes it spins in mine, but there's always a chance for it to spin in everyone's favor. And there's always an ending to that motion. And now we have the Sun and Judgment also on each side of the Wheel of Fortune. And with the Sun paired with Judgment, I think this is a double whammy that talks about revealing a truth that will bring everybody to attention. But I went a step further, and I wanted to know a little bit more specifically about this energy and who it belongs to. And so I got the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is someone who is worldly and confident and knowledgeable. But paired with the Page of Cups energy, this is also someone who is in charge of, they have command of an emotional situation, and they have a message that they need to share with the world in regard to this emotional message. And this is when I kind of started to get the feeling that maybe this was some indicator that we might see some changes with the Epstein case this week, because there is a very big feeling of feminine energy driving motion towards confidently taking a stand in public, even when that public stand is risky. Very powerful reading that I started off with this morning. I want to share it with you guys before we get started on March. So now that I have, feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about this. If you think maybe we'll see some movement on the Epstein case this week, maybe that's what it's talking about. Could be something else. Could be multiple things. It could just be general overall change that is coming. All right, so let's put these cards away and we will get started on Marjorie Taylor Greene's reading. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. So as much shuffling as I just did, we got the Wheel of Fortune again. This tells me Marjorie is definitely at a point where things are changing. She's at a crossroads for sure. I think there is some sense here that Marjorie Taylor Greene believes, at least in part, that Donald Trump is not who he seems to be or who he has portrayed himself to be. I think that the cracks in the foundation are real. I think that she actually is starting to see something that she probably didn't ever expect to see. But, you know, with the tower, as always, it's fully expected when you build a structure on unstable ground, the tower will fall. The structure will crumble. So not surprising, not uncommon. With the Eight of Wands, I feel like this is her trying to reason with the situation. She's probably doing a lot of excusing his behavior or trying to come up with other reasons as to, you know, maybe just to try to find a way to give him the benefit of the doubt. If you've ever seen anyone deconstruct from a deeply held belief, it kind of hits them on almost like a spiritual level. It feels that intense, you know what I mean? But I think she sees herself as someone who is incredibly strong and brave. I think Marjorie has a very inflated sense of self. And I think because she sees herself this way, she doesn't ever want to be wrong about things. I think she maybe even has some type of complex that kind of leads her to always be the best and always take the best stance. And never make a mistake. And I'm kind of getting that, like, she puts a lot of pressure on herself with these two cards. She's someone who really strongly, her strongly held beliefs, she pressures herself a lot about them and she focuses a lot on them. And when she believes something, she believes it, you know, with every fiber of her being. So I don't think that what we're seeing from Marjorie Taylor Greene is a farce, which in my personal perspective, I assumed that it was. I kind of thought that she was pulling like a little, you know, a little quick one on people for the sake of the regime, but the cards are kind of telling us otherwise. So what is the next evolution of Marjorie Taylor Greene? The Chariot, we have motion. I feel like a lot of times when I get the Chariot card, it comes to point directly to Congress. For some reason, when I do these political readings, the Chariot very often points towards Congress. So, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is in Congress, so that makes a lot of sense. The King of Swords. Despite this beautiful card, the King of Swords is Donald Trump's energy. This almost feels like a little bit of a standoff. We're going to get two more cards on each side to clarify what the Chariot and the Queen of Cups is here to tell us about. So we have a lot of court cards coming out. I think that with this many court cards on the table, Marjorie Taylor Greene is likely being... I don't know if it's conversations or if it's just observations. There are strong female influences on her right now that are shifting her perspective on things. And it could be intentional, could be like, say, for example, if AOC is making an effort to go and talk to Marjorie Taylor Greene and they're finding common ground and having deep conversations that are actually having an effect on Marjorie Taylor Greene's perception of this administration and what she wants her legacy to be and what it is that she wants to represent in her position in Congress. I think that she's starting to see where she stands with a lot of things, and she's also thinking about where she's going in the future. Okay, so some of this could very well be self-interest because she is seeing where well, it's really on her mind where she's going in the future. With the King of Swords, this is, because of this beautiful card with the woman in the dress. I don't want to give this card to Trump, but the King of Swords, when he comes out, it's always Trump's energy, like in its lowest form. So here we have Trump watching her very closely. I think he is keeping an eye on her because I don't think that he ever really cared about her or anything. He's not loyal to anybody, but I think that he watches specific people to see if they're going to betray him or be loyal to him. So he's kind of at the epicenter of all this energy, watching very carefully how things plan out. And realistically, if we're speaking absolutely technically, he probably has people doing that for him because, let's face it, Donald Trump's not in great health right now, so he can't do much of anything. But somebody's keeping tabs on her, for Trump's benefit. So the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles here, I feel like this is two people. This is two specific people who are in Marjorie Taylor Greene's inner circle. I don't know for sure who they are. We could probably figure it out, but I'll let you guys take a stab at it in the comments and see what you think, who you think rather these two cards might represent. But I definitely feel like they represent two people who are in her inner circle, talking to her, counseling with her, and persuading her or, just inspiring her to open her eyes about things. So let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene and her role in the Epstein case, because she has been very vocal about what she is willing to do, how she's willing to go to bat for the survivors. And I'm curious to know how that plays out. I want to say right off that with the moon falling directly under the King of Swords, I think Marjorie may be feeling like she has to keep something under wraps. I think she is at a point where she is likely trying to conceal her next moves or conceal something. I don't think that she's coming forward 100% with her truest feelings because she knows Trump is watching, or that the regime kind of has their eye on her. I think she's fully aware that they do, and that's why she is keeping this situation kind of under wraps a little bit. So we have the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. There is an energy of defensiveness here and having to fend off something. So again, it kind of reflects what we've already seen in the cards a little bit. And with the Knight of Swords, I feel like this is here to kind of back up the Seven of Wands, where there's a situation that she's aware of, but she feels prepared to handle it. So she's got like a strategy, like an actual strategy of how to move forward. So could be that Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking with these two women, whoever these two women are here, and formulating a little bit of an undercover plan for how to proceed when it comes to the Epstein files. I think she's probably taking a very active role in this situation. Now, these two cards become a little bit more important again, and I'm going to go ahead and slip the Seven of Wands down so we can talk about the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. These two cards, more than likely, these are not going to be women who are on the right. So not Nancy Mace, because Nancy Mace can't be trusted. Don't trust her no matter what she says or does. These are women who would never go to Trump. These are two women that Marjorie Taylor Greene knows for a fact she can trust because they would never, under any circumstances, go to Trump. Because I feel like what they're talking about here, what this plan involves, is something that probably is going to put Marjorie Taylor Greene in a lot of danger. But I think that she sees it as something beneficial, not only for what is going on right at the moment, but this is going to be beneficial for her in the future, like a good long ways down the road. So let's get 2 more cards on the end here and see if there are any other details we need to know about the Epstein files and how Marjorie Taylor Greene engages with this situation, with the victims. The 9 of Swords. So this is here to confirm that there is an element of fear and dread. She is fearful. She knows the risk involved with this scenario. 10 of Swords. Holy cow. She knows not only that this is, she's kind of going up against it. She knows that this can end in absolute ruin. She knows, and it could be for her, it could be for Donald Trump. It could be both. Could just be both. And she is aware of that as well. That whoever comes out on the other side of this situation, tons of fear leading up to the end of this situation, someone goes down in ruin. So Marjorie Taylor Greene did not come to play with this Epstein case and her involvement in it. I think that there is a pretty solid element of honesty and good faith here. I can't believe I'm saying this about Marjorie Taylor Greene, because just a little factoid about me, folks. I used to think that I really despised her more than I despised Donald Trump, and that's really saying something. So, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Does everybody deserve a redemption arc or no? Does she? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it. I'm going to pull 2 more cards for Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'm going to ask straight up, how authentic is her concern? And how far is she willing to go? How much is she willing to invest? Is this in good faith? Okay, you guys ready for this? Emotional insight, spiritual insight. Marjorie is serious about this. She's serious. This is not just a game to her. This is not just something that she is doing for publicity or to rebrand herself. Emotional insight. She is changing on an emotional level. She is changing from a spiritual perspective. And also, I feel like there's a bit of like a self-defense perspective here. So there's something about this case that caused her to deconstruct, which is not at all uncommon. A lot of times when people deconstruct from some type of problematic ideology, it'll start with one small incident, and then their brain starts to unravel completely. So it makes perfect sense. Marjorie Taylor Greene is serious. I think she's here in good faith. All these changes that are coming from her. I'm not saying to trust her or support her, but, you know, sometimes people do, in fact, change. So we'll have to keep an eye on her and see how this plays out. I don't think that Donald Trump's going to be real happy with her. Not sure how that's going to go. We wish her the best of luck when it comes to defending the victims of Epstein and Trump, and hopefully she can forge ahead and accomplish something, and we'll go from there. But there you have it, folks. That's what's up with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene woke now? She might be getting there. She might be getting there. We'll see. All right, folks, that will do it for this reading. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, stick around, become part of the community. And leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you guys later.